So in previous videos, we've talked about the foundations of mental health, which we've talked about sleep, exercise, and diet. So you can go back and look at those videos, and the aim there was to provide some general tips on how managing those aspects of our life can be an important start in terms of mental health and well-being. So now I'm going to talk about different aspects of well-being, because well-being is quite a broad term that encompasses many things. So we're going to break well-being up into different types of well-being and just think about how we might do things that might contribute to our well-being in that sense. So today we're going to talk briefly about emotional well-being. So it's really important in this respect to think about our emotional experiences on a day-to-day level. What emotions we're experiencing, how we're expressing those emotions, how we might be regulating those emotions too. There's a number of stresses in life, daily hassles, those little things that come up, on a day-to-day sort of basis that might be annoying or irritating. We also experience major life events, with the events of the last few months being a good example of that. And they all contribute to levels of stress too. So finding ways to manage that stress and consider the impact that's having on our well-being is really important. So a good basis for this is to remember the acronym RULER. So each of those letters represents a key skill related to emotional intelligence. So R is recognising what we're feeling. So what I mean there is to stop and consider whether an emotion you're having might be pleasant or unpleasant. Okay, so if you think about that as a bit of a spectrum, would you sort of describe it as in the pleasant realm or more of an unpleasant feeling? And you can also consider the energy attached to that emotion as well. So is it a high energy emotion or is it a low energy emotion? So that's a good place to start. And at this stage, we're not even given it a name. The second part of that U is understanding why we might be having that emotion. So what are the reasons that we are having that particular emotion at that point of time? L is where we come to label the emotion. So having thought about the level of energy and whether it's unpleasant or not pleasant, and why we might be feeling that way, we can actually give it a name. So what word would you use to describe that emotion? E refers to how we're expressing that emotion. So think about the behaviour or behaviours you're engaging in that show what you're feeling. And finally R, which is regulate, or which basically means to manage it. So that's the really important component, because there are a number of ways of managing emotion that would be considered helpful or adaptive. And there's a lot of ways that we manage emotions that are much less adaptive and much less helpful. So try thinking about talking to other people, talking to friends, or trusted people in our life, journaling, seeking professional help if needed. But these are some of the ways we can really focus on our emotional well-being.